Today we're going to we're going to review writing equations of lines from different sources, and then we're going to throw in a twist that you haven't seen yet. So here are the 3 problems that we're going to review, and I'll do the work over here. We're going to do the first one here. Write the equation of a line from this T-chart. Now, we haven't done this yet, but this is just as easy as what you did yesterday. Okay, remember yesterday, the worksheet that we worked on gave us 2 points. And from that, we wrote the equation of a line, right?
Oh, yeah.
Well, guess what? Every one of these are points. So you can choose any of these that you want. You can choose 2. If Irene chooses one set, but you choose 2 different ones, you will get the same equation of a line because all of those are on the line. Okay, so let's do that. Choose 2 of the points for me.
0 minus 2.
Well, you have to do 0, 4, because 0 and 4 goes together.
Oh, gotcha.
And then you want the bottom one?
Yeah.
2, negative 2. Okay. Irene, get ready because you're going to choose 2 different ones, and we're going to prove my point. Okay. Now, yesterday we found out that if we have 2 points, we can write the equation of a line. This is x and y. This is x and y. So we have 1s, 2s, and our equation is y minus y1. This is on your formula chart. M x minus x1. And we found out yesterday that in this equation, I'm going to box it in because this is the pattern we're going to follow. We found out yesterday that the y that doesn't have a number in it, a subscript, and the x that doesn't have a subscript stay letters. When you use this formula, they're always going to be letters. Then the y1 and the x1 come out of one of these. It doesn't matter which one, it'll still come out okay. And of course, m is the slope. So we're going to start to fill this out as far as we can go. We know that the y without a number is simply a letter, minus. Let's find y1 right here, so it's 4, equals.
We need to find the slope.
We don't have a slope. We're going to have to find it. I'm going to go ahead and write everything else down so we have it. So the x stays a letter, minus x1, which is 0. Okay? Now, we know that we don't have the slope yet. So what we're going to do is go up here. I think it can still be on the screen. We're going to go up here, take a side trip, and we have to find out what the slope is. Now, we found this formula and used it several weeks ago. y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Make sure that's all on the screen.
y2, y1.
The top is y2 minus y1. The bottom is x2 minus x1. Okay, so now we're going to fill that in. M equals y2, negative 2, minus y1 is 4, over x2, which is 2, minus 0. So when we work this out, we simply have M equals negative 2 minus 4 is a negative 6 over 2 minus 0 is 2. This will reduce or simplify to negative 3. So now we know that our slope is negative 3. We can go back to our original problem. Where the m is now, we found it was negative 3, so I can put a negative 3 right here. Now we have everything filled in the problem. We're simply going to solve for y. But we found out yesterday working that you can't add the 4 to this side yet until you get rid of the parentheses. And the way we get rid of the parentheses is to do the distributive property. So now I have negative 3x, because I multiplied here times a 1x, and then negative times 0 plus 0, right? Equals y minus 4. Okay? Good girl.
Blind as a bat.
And if you can't see there, just move over to that one. Okay, and now we're going to solve for y, because most of the time when you're writing the equation of a line, they want you to put it in slope-intercept form, which means the y has to be by itself. So we're solving for y. The only thing we have to get rid of is this 4. If we do it to one side, we have to do it to the other side. So now we have y equals negative 3x plus 4. This is the equation of a line from that T-chart over there, from the T-chart. Now, those of you that are watching, I was going to do another one, but I want to get into the new stuff here in a minute, so I'm not going to. But if you want to practice, find 2 other points out of there and do the same thing. You will come out with the same linear equation right here, no matter which 2 points you choose. Everybody okay with that? How about you, Josh, Isabel?
Yep. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, be sure and speak up if you need something. Okay, now we're going to do B. What if it was a word problem that said, write the equation of a line that passes through these 2 points? You see 2 and negative 3 and 5, 1. Okay? Get rid of this. So this is the one that we're going to work on now. And again, if it tells you to write the equation of a line, you're going to use this formula right here. Use this pattern. This is how you write the equation of a line. So in actuality, we're going to do the exact same thing. Here are the 2 points they give us. 2 and negative 3 and 5, 1. So again, let's fill this out. Y stays a y, minus y1 is a negative 3. So this minus comes from the equation. So I have to put the negative 3 for the y1's value, equals slope x minus x1. But again, we were not given the slope. So we go take a side trip over here to find the slope. So y2 is 1 minus y1 is a negative 3 over x2, 5 minus 2. Okay? And so we just work this problem. 1 plus 3 is 4 over 3. So our slope is 4/3. Any questions on that? So now you have, are there not any questions? So now we're going to solve for y. The first thing I like to do, if I see 2 negatives, I want to make that a plus so it's out of my way. Okay, now if I'm going to solve for y, I know that I have to take care of the parentheses first. So I'm going to do the distributive property again, and I have 4/3. And since I'm taking it times 1x, 4/3 times 1 is 4/3 and then minus 8/3. See, y'all, the equation of a line isn't always pretty, whole numbers. It's just whatever it is. And this is y plus 3, okay? We know that we want to solve for y. So what do we need to do?
Subtract the 3.
We need, good. I heard a lot of answers. Minus 3 from that side, and yes, we're going to minus 3 from here. Okay? Now, this is a 0, so we've got y equals, and I think you guys are going to be in the way. There we are. Okay. Y equals 4/3 x. And when you do this, I'm pretty sure it comes out 17/3. Y'all with calculators, check it real quick. -8/3 minus 3. -8/3 minus 3.
Equals -1/3. Did I do it right?
Did you put -8/3 and minus?
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Negative.
You missed one of the signs.
Take away 3.
Mm-hmm.
-17/3.
-17/3. Okay. So this is your equation of a line that passes through these 2 points. Any questions? Okay. Does anybody need this up here anymore? All right. So now we're actually going to look at a graph of a line. Just look at it. And we should be able to tell what the equation is. Now, those of you on remote, I'll try to get it where you can see what we're doing. But I'll probably have to tell you some things. Okay, we want to write the equation of this line. Now, there are 2 ways that you can do this. First of all, you can come over here and look for any points that might be on the intersections. Don't pick a point that's kind of in the middle of a line. That's not going to work. You could pick maybe this point or this point or this point. There's a lot of them that are right on the intersections. And just use these points and do what we just got through doing. Just use the coordinates of find out what the coordinates of this point are, find out what the coordinates of this point are, and then use the equation that we just used. Or we found out that we could do it easier by simply finding y equals mx plus b is the slope-intercept form of a line. We know the y is going to stay a letter, the x is going to stay a letter. So all I need to do to write this equation of a line is to find out what the slope is and what the y-intercept is, okay? So I'm going to try to look at the graph and find out what these are. The y-intercept is the place where the line that we drew crosses the y. This is the y-intercept. So if we look at the line that I drew, and here's the y-axis, they crossed at 5. They crossed at 5. This is the point that's on the y-axis where it intersects here. Okay, it's called a y. That's where the y-intercept is. So it's 5, sorry. Okay, and then you choose a couple of points and you go from the y-intercept to another one of those points by counting the rise over the run. That way we'll know the slope. Okay, so if I go from this house, and let's say I'm just gonna go to this one. Oh, I could go that one, doesn't matter. Okay, so I'm going to rise how many? 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm gonna rise 4. Then I turn the corner because I want to get to that house, and I run 1, 2. Okay? So I have 4 over 2, and you always simplify that.
2.
So I have 2 over 1, or if you want to write it in the equation, just 2. So now all I have to do is fill in this equation. And my equation of a line is going to be y equals, m is 2, so I'm going to put 2 there, x plus whatever b is. And that's my equation of a line. Now you can either use this method where you just look at the graph and find the y-intercept and then count the slope, or you can find 2 points here if you feel more comfortable using the other equation and just having 2 points. The equation of the line will come out the same all the time. I don't know, I'm trying to read your face. Is that a question or you're just?
No.
Okay. Okay, so far we're fine, right? How about y'all?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay.
Isabel, you're fine?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'm going to do one more, and it's actually easier, and you know how to do it, but if you see it, you haven't seen it yet, but you already know how to do it, okay?
Okay.
This, remember when I taught you this, I said, I'm going to teach you the hardest one first. You already know the hardest one, and you're doing it well, okay? And so you might have one that says, write the equation of a line that passes through the point 2, 3, and has a slope of -1.
Talk to me.
Okay, this time they didn't give you 2 points, did they? But what did they give you?
The slope.
They gave us the slope, so we don't have to take that side trip, right? So here we go. The equation itself, when it says write the equation of a line, we use this, y minus y1 equals the slope x minus x1. Again, this is on your formula chart towards the bottom. Okay, so if this is x and y, and this is the slope, then all we have to do is fill it in. So we have y minus 3 equals -1/4, because they already told us the slope, x minus 2. And then we do the same thing to solve for y. We have to take care of the parentheses first. So now we have y minus 3 equals -1/4 x, because this is an understood 1x, 1/4 times 1 is -1/4. Then a negative times a negative is a positive 2/4, or 1/2. Y'all can do that on your calculator and check me. Negative times a negative is definitely a positive. 1/4 times 2 over 1 is 2 over 4, 1/2. Okay, and now if I want y by itself, I need to add the 3. Add the 3. And so now I have y equals -1/4 x plus That's 6, 7 halves.
When we put the last symbol at the very end, like the plus, you got 1/4 x plus
Mhm.
that right there.
Yes?
How do we know what to put there? Like the adding or the subtracting? How do we decide
Well, it goes up to here.
from there?
And when I'm multiplying a negative number times
Mhm.
a negative number. Negative times negative gives me positive
Okay, that's how I
because
end
the
up.
subtract and the negative act the same way. That's where this plus came from. And then if I've got a plus and another plus, it's definitely going to be a plus
Okay.
when I'm adding them together. Does that answer your question?
Yes.
How are y'all with this? Because we're getting ready to move to the new stuff.
Okay.
I'm good.
Okay. All right. How are you guys?
Good.
You moved again?
Yeah, I had a phone call.
Oh, come on back up. Okay. The one thing that I want you to know before we start is that, this will go in your notes. Parallel lines have the same slope. Okay, parallel lines have the same slope. You need to get this down in your notes and keep it in your head. Parallel lines have the same slope. Okay? Perpendicular lines have slopes that are negative reciprocals of each other. Okay, now I know that you are going to need a definition, an example, right? So,
That guy's pissing me off.
this one, parallel lines. Parallel lines are these lines that go in the same direction. And here's an example. Y equals 2/3 x
There he
minus
goes
4,
again.
and y equals 2/3 x minus or plus 10. These are parallel lines because slopes are equal to each other. You'll see? Perpendicular lines are lines that cross each other at a 90-degree angle. Those are perpendicular lines. And an example of those will be y equals 4/5 x plus 2. The y-intercept doesn't matter at all. It's the slope. And y equals negative. So I'm changing the signs and flipping. That's reciprocal. So negative means change the signs from whatever it was and flip. These are perpendicular slopes right here. You'll see. Perpendicular. Perpendicular lines cross each other at 90 degrees.
And that's just the numbers that go with that, right?
Yes, it's just an example. So if I have a slope of -1/5, okay, give me the parallel slope to that. Parallel slope will be come on. If one line has the slope of -1/5, what would the parallel line have the slope of?
The same thing, wouldn't it be?
Say it again.
Wouldn't it be the same thing?
It will be the same thing. So the parallel slope will be -1/5, right?
Oh, okay.
So give me the perpendicular slope. Remember, I have to change the sign and flip.
-5/1.
It already is negative. Now I'm going to have to change it. When it says negative reciprocals, that means I've got to change the sign.
Plus.
So a positive
5/1.
5/1 or 5 would be the slope of the perpendicular line. Let's do this. The negative is a little bit confusing, so say change the sign. How about that? So if it's negative, it goes to positive. If it's positive, it goes to negative. Y'all see?
Quit changing the thing, man. It's all black. Can you see the board?
Are you talking to me?
Yeah.
You can't see the board, Isabel?
No.
Oh, man. At all?
Well, Josh keeps putting it all black. Right there, it can.
Okay, Josh, don't put it black anymore.
I'm not. I can still see the board.
Yeah, it went black again.
She's got it on whoever's talking. She has to swipe over to the right till it shows me, you, and her, and then double tap on you to stop the ping.
Do
Okay.
what?
Do this. Can you see me? Can you see my arrow moving around?
Yes, ma'am, I can.
Okay, well, go up.
Right now, I can.
Okay, go up to the view up here in this corner.
Yes.
Now, I have it on speaker view. Okay? You probably want it on gallery view. Try that.
Okay.
I have it on speaker view, so it'll stay on me.
But we individually, we have to do that too, so we don't see, like when somebody else is talking, their picture pops up.
Okay.
It's annoying because it goes away from the board. So there's on the right-hand corner, it shows, I can't remember what you hit on, but Joseph was saying what it was. You hit on that and then it stops doing that. Whoever talks, it doesn't keep switching back and forth.
Okay, so you need to.
Ask Joseph again what she needs to do.
Okay, Josh,
Oh, Josh, I'm sorry.
you need to do right here. Can you see mine?
Talking to me?
Yes. I heard you before, but you went too fast. So We need to know what she needs to click on.
Well, I'm on my phone, so it's different. I forgot
Oh.
she's probably on a computer.
Okay. You
But
want,
she just has to stop the ping for when whoever's talking, the screen goes to them. It does that to me on my phone, and I just double tap on your picture, and it stops the ping. But on
okay,
hers, I think she'll have to go to. I ain't never been on Zoom on a computer, so I don't know.
okay.
I have it on gallery view and it's smaller.
And you can't see me? You only see me on a little piece?
Yes.
Can pin, and she needs to choose that? Okay. She said you need to try pin video. See where I am right here? Okay, and let me fix mine again.
That's what I do when I get on Zoom. Whoever's talking doesn't pop up.
Oh no, I was getting a better view on the speaker view than I am on the gallery.
Okay, good. And then mine needs to go because here I
There, I
need,
can see you right there.
good. Yeah. I'm gonna, nope. Okay, and then I'm gonna pin my video.
No, I can't see nothing.
Now nothing?
Right there, it came back up.
Wow. I don't know what's going on.
I mean, there's three on the other side. There's me, you, and Josh
Right?
on a small screen. Let me see if I can. There it goes. I can see you now.
Okay, is it big where you can see it?
Yes.
Okay, I think we have it fixed, and now we're going to try this example right here, just so you can get used to what parallel slopes are and perpendicular slopes. Let's say I give you a slope of 4/7. So tell me what the parallel slope will be. What will the parallel slope be to this slope? Parallel slopes are
Parallel.
parallel lines have the
Same slope.
same slope. So if I started with this slope and I said, what's the parallel slope to that? It's 4/7.
It's still the same.
Yes. But what is the perpendicular slope?
7/4.
Yes. 7/4. And this was a positive, so I have to change the sign.
Negative.
Y'all see?
Yeah.
Okay. If you've got that in your head, I'll show you why we're doing this. Okay? And you have some worksheets today.
Wait a moment.
And I have some worksheets today that I'm going to give to you to practice this, what I'm getting ready to show you. Okay?
Okay.
All right. So here we go. Hang on tight. Okay? Here. Okay. Here is the problem. Write the equation of a line that passes through the point. I'm just making it up, so it could be fun. -4/5 and is parallel, very important word here, to the line y equals 4/5, no, 5, let's do 5/4 x minus 2. Okay, this is what the question will look like on the test, okay? Now, we know how to write the equation of a line because we know the equation for that. The y minus y1, the one we've been using all morning. Okay, so we know we're going to use that equation. We know that this is going to be x1 and y1. We know that. Here is the new stuff. It says, and this line that you're going to write the equation of has to be parallel to this line. All you need out of all of this stuff is the slope. We have the x1 and the y1. We just need a slope. So parallel slopes, parallel,
It's the same unit?
it's the same. So up here, I'm going to say the slope that I'm going to use in the equation is 5/4 because it says a parallel to this line. I don't need that. I don't need any of that stuff. I need this. And a parallel slope is the same. So I wrote up here that I'm going to use the same slope when I work this problem. So that's all that I need out of this part of the equation. Now I'm going to do my y minus y1 equals slope times x minus x1. Y minus y1 is 5 equals what slope? 5/4. X minus a -4, which makes a plus, okay? 2 negatives makes a plus. So far, so good? The only thing you needed out of here was, am I going to use the same slope or am I going to flip it and change the sign?
That's it, it's
Perpendicular.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's finish this so we can have practice here. We have to do the parentheses first. And so I have y minus 5 equals 5/4 x plus 5. Because when I take 5/4 times 4/1, it comes out 5. And then we finish this up by adding 5 to both sides. So the equation of the line that passes through that point and is parallel to this is y equals 5/4 x plus 10. Okay? Y-intercept doesn't matter, the slope does. Are you guys okay with that?
Yes.
Okay. So let's change one thing for your next example. I'm going to change one thing. Guess what it's going to be?
The slope.
I'm going to say, now this is a different problem. I'm going to say that I want to write the equation of a line that passes through this point and is perpendicular to the line here. Okay? So all I need from this part is a slope that I'm going to be using. Right, Irene? All I'm going to need from here is the slope. So look, it says a perpendicular slope. So what slope am I going to use now in my equation? A Go ahead.
What was the question?
I need the perpendicular to this slope.
Oh, 4/5.
And I need a negative 4/5. Because remember, you flip and change the sign. This is a positive right now.
So it's a minus.
So I had to change it to a negative 4/5. Do you guys see that, Isabel?
Yes.
Josh? Okay. So we're going to use the equation y minus y1 equals the slope times x minus x1. Plug our stuff in. Y minus y1 is 5 equals, now we need a perpendicular slope because we need the equation of a perpendicular line. So I need 4/5 times x minus a negative 4. Right there. I'm going to make this plus right off the bat. 2 negatives make a positive. And now we're going to solve. Before we do anything here, we have to do this. Get rid of those parentheses. So I have y minus 5 equals negative 4/5 x minus, because there's a negative times a positive, negative times a positive is a negative, and it will be 16/5 so far. When you get a chance, do it with your calculator. That's the correct answer. And then I want to solve for y, so I've got one more step. And so I've got y equals negative 4/5 x plus, I think it's 9/5. Yeah, 9/5. So now this is the equation of a line that passes through that point, but it has to be perpendicular to this line. And all I need out of the line that's perpendicular is a slope. All I need. And then X the rest of it out. I just need a slope. Do y'all understand the process? I know you're not going to totally understand it until you actually work in it. But how are you on the process right now? Got it? Isabel,
Yeah.
how are you?
I got it.
Okay. That's all I'm going to do today. I will be sending you some copies of the worksheets that I'm giving them today. This should give you all of the information that you can finish out the packet 3. And then this is some extra stuff that's going to review writing equations of lines. And you'll get to use some of these perpendicular and parallel lines.
Okay.
Sound good to all of you? Okay. Again, you guys are awesome. I'm
Thank you.
excited. We're going to start quadratics this week. Are you more excited?
Yes.
I couldn't hear the excitement. Okay. Okay. You know I love you. Okay.
Okay, bye, Deborah.
Bye. We'll see you tomorrow.
Okay, bye. See if I know how to do this now.
Okay.
Yeah, doing it. Leave the meeting.
16/5 plus 5 on the calculator, it doesn't come out 9/5.
Okay. I'll look and see.
Let's see if I'm doing it right. Is it supposed to be a negative 16/5?
This one?
Uh-huh.
It is a negative 16/5. So take negative 4/5 times a positive 4.
No, not that part. You're adding, yeah, those two right there.
Okay.
I don't get that answer.
Okay, do a negative 16/5.
Mhm. Plus the 5.
Mm-hmm.
No, now I got 9/5.
Okay.
Yes, because I wasn't putting in the negative.
I started to question myself.
Sorry.
No, that's all right.
Because to me, that was a minus, not a negative. I'm like, those signs like.
That's
get me
been driving
every
you
time.
crazy.
Yes. I'm like, do I put a negative? Do I put a positive?